Hello everyone, welcome to Yuppie Guppy. This is for Sunday, May the 25th, and I'm already behind as you can tell. I was supposed to do it 3 days ago, and today's the 28th, so here I am, doing it now. So I just want to talk about, I guess, what I mysteriously wrote down, because there's some things I wrote down. One of the first things is I noticed on YouTube to make, shorts, they have to be a certain size. Like they can't be horizontal videos, which I thought was crazy. Like why can't I upload my videos? Cause well, let me just tell you. Earlier, when I was making these videos, I was using my phone. So when I was recording, I had it vertically, and so I didn't notice that when I was doing YouTube Shorts that they have to be vertical videos. So I would upload the videos, and I was like, oh, it's fine. But when I had my new camera on my webcam, my computer, I started to upload the videos, and it told me it wasn't allowed to. It didn't notice it as a short, and I was like, why? Like it doesn't make sense. And it apparently to make it into a short, it has to be vertical video. So now I have to like edit this video to make it vertical so it can be a YouTube short, which I think is kind of stupid. I feel like YouTube should be able to automatically make it into a vertical short if it really needs to, but I guess I have to go put in the work to do that. And I thought that was interesting. Yeah, that's one thing I found out that was new when I was doing these videos. Another thing, I've just been working on personal growth as always, and some things I wrote down is I need to practice humility and to stop being reckless or too reckless, because a lot of times, well, first about humility is sometimes I'm like very sassy, and I like to, you know, not to say like a know-it-all, but I like to be like if something's wrong, I like to be a little sassy about it. I'll just say that. Um, and when I notice that something's wrong, it's better to approach someone with not sassiness, to come up to them and be like, I don't like what you did. Let's talk about it, whatever, without having to be all dramatic. The other thing is recklessness for me. I'm just so reckless. Like I just kind of like do whatever I want. I do blah blah. Like I just like jump around, um, and that's something I want to like practice to stop being reckless or more like impulsive, because my impulsiveness is what makes me reckless. Like I go and do this, and then like once my mind is set, I like it's over. Like I just do it, and so I just wanted to practice some of that. And those are notes I wrote down because um yeah, because I'm always trying to better myself. So, and I'm also very repetitive. So whenever I do these videos, sometimes I repeat myself, and it's like, it's not good. I don't like it. I'm like, why did I just say that like 3 times or twice? So yeah, so those are the top 4 words apparently that I wrote down. I think this was like way back, like maybe on Sunday or even earlier. Because I don't remember this, but yeah, so humility, recklessness, impulsiveness, and repetition. Those are the 4 things I hope to, become better on, where I have more humility and I'm less impulsive, reckless, and repetitive. So yeah. And the thing about humility I actually wrote down is that sometimes, me myself, I get so fed up with my own sins that sometimes I take it out on others. So that's another thing about humility is I actually watched a video on YouTube and learned a little bit more about being Christian and how to approach people when they're doing something wrong. And to continue what I wrote down here, I wrote because I hate sin so much, and the sins I have committed, and it makes me angry when I struggle with it or when others support it. So at first, as I started to be more serious with, following God's word, I was very not confrontational, but very like aggressive, I guess, to where like, you know, first off, you become hard on yourself, and the other thing is like I tend to like get upset or mad at people who are like, oh yeah, like for example, like you go and have sex with whoever you want, you know, like it's your life, go have sex with whoever you want. That was something apparently that, well, as growing up, like I thought, oh, okay, that sounds like everyone seems like that seems like the thing to do. Like just go live your life. You're young before you get married. Go do whatever. And to me, now I'm like, no, like I hate that. You know, I don't think that should be a good thing. It's not a good thing actually. And so now when I see other people being like, go live your life, or they say like to go do this or to not get married, to go have sex with whoever you want, I would get mad. I'd be like, oh, I just don't like this person. And the truth is like, I shouldn't be like that. I shouldn't be mad at them. I have to have humility with people who still think that way. Because at first I kind of thought that way too, you know? Like, we kind of all grew up the same way. If they're around my age or a little older, you know, we all live in the same world. We all know what we've been told. The lies from the enemy saying, oh, to go waste your life, your youth away by doing drugs, sex, alcohol. Literally, that is like the whole music industry. Love, sex, alcohol, and drugs. And that is just crazy. That they try to lie to us, and we all fall for it. We're all like, oh yeah, that's what we gotta do. That's what we gotta do to have fun. That's what we gotta do to live it up, to have the best life, to have like just to, I don't know, be cool, I guess, if you want. But yeah. So obviously, I hate that now. No, I don't hate it, but I do see how much it impacts people, or my friends, or even myself. And so I do hate that, you know, the media lies to you. Especially like music, where they're always like, oh, if this girl or whatever, like Drake or literally all the popular people, all the ones that they mainstream, they say that they're such great music. It's crazy. And it's all about sin, literally, like go commit a sin. Every song, go commit a sin. Let's go. And I hate it. So instead of me lashing out my anger at them, I have to have more humility, basically. And that's why I put humility in there, because it's better to, you know, instead of attacking other people for the things, you know, for sin or anything like that, or for judging them, it's better to, you know, just to talk to them about it. And you know, if they want help, because sometimes they're gonna be like, bro, leave me alone. Like, I want to live my life. And you can't really do anything about it. Like, you can't control people, so you can't do it. But it's better to be humble, so that whenever they do want to come to Christ, or they want to change the way they live in their life, you can be there to support them. And yeah, that's really the whole thing about being humble, is that people will honestly tend to like you a little bit more, or they won't run away from, you know, Christianity because you were so aggressive with them. Like, oh, how dare you do this, or what you're doing is so evil. Yes, it is evil, but they just don't know it, and it's okay, because, you know, eventually, as you pray for them, or, you know, do whatever, they'll come around. And it's better to be kind, and have a little more self-control with your anger or emotions, than to like let it out on people. And that's just how it is, because, you know, on social media, everyone is judging everyone like very aggressively. Like, they just don't care at all. They're just like, oh, this person is and they're just all over the place. So that's what social media is about. And it's very like, yeah, so it's very like debating. Like, there's a lot of, like, every time I go on like social media, I see like people debating about, oh, what is this person doing, or blah 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 blah. And you guys get the idea. You guys know what it's like out there. And so, to me, I think I basically learned that I needed to have more humility after watching a lot of people online who kind of judge, and it's okay to be like, hey, you shouldn't do this. That's not really judging, you know. Like, don't get it confused by, like, yeah, when we say we don't like something, or if someone tells you they don't like something, it's not like they're not judging you. I mean, technically, I guess you could say they are, but it's also like, I mean, what we live in a world, like, we have to judge to make sure it's good or bad. So I guess, you know, technically we do have to judge, but the way to handle the situation should be met first with humility, and then after, you know, hopefully they won't, you know, either, like, because if you go and attack them, they're gonna attack you back, or they're gonna, like, not want to be with you. So you gotta be humble, so that, you know, you give everyone a good opportunity to get to know God, and not have them want to run away and be like, you called me this and that, and they're not gonna want to, they're not gonna want to they're not gonna feel happy, or think that what they're doing is wrong because of the way you treat them. So make sure you treat people kindly, and treat yourself kindly. It goes both ways. Yeah. So honestly, I guess that's the things I want to talk about. I don't know if I mentioned. I think last episode I said that my dad was back home. Did I mention that? No, I didn't. I did not mention that. Okay, so my dad is now back home. He is in our care now, and we just, you know, we're taking care of him now. So he has to take pain medicine. He's still in a lot of pain, but he's doing his best. And I really do think his pancreas is gonna be completely healed by the time however long it takes for it to get healed. I really do think it's gonna heal, and that it won't be chronic or anything that will last for longer than it should. In the name of Jesus, that's like what I really pray for. But all God's will, and yeah. So I'm glad that he's home, so I can actually hang out with him more. And not having to drive so long to the hospital, because this is a like hour drive there and back, and that is just crazy. And it's only because of traffic. So traffic in Houston is disastrous. But yeah. I guess I'll share some things. When I went to go visit the hospital, I got to talk to some of the nurses, and you know, it's interesting to see, you know, their lifestyle and what they have to go through. And yeah, I mean, I don't want to share a personal story that I was talking to a nurse, but you know, some of the stories that these nurses shared with me like really touched my heart, and you know, I pray for them. And yeah, I want to see, like, or I just, yeah, like, some of the stories they say, like, I guess I'll mention a story, because, yeah, I'll just mention it. One of the nurses, her husband had passed away to something. I don't know how her husband passed away. I totally forgot. Oh my gosh. But to me, she really opened up to us, and I could tell she was like about to cry, and she was just very stressed. Not stressed, but she's a really hard worker, and she's very kind. But she opened up to us about her husband who passed away. I think it was recent. I don't know if it was a year ago or not. It might have been during COVID. I think it was around COVID when her husband passed away. And you know, my heart goes out to her, because you know, she's been working as a nurse, and you know, taking care of patients, doing her best. And you know, when she started to open up to us about that, you know, I noticed, it made me think, like, you know, she probably noticed my mom and my dad, how my mom never left his side at the hospital, and you know, that probably touched her heart and reminded her of her husband and how much she misses him. And you know, to anyone who has like lost their loved ones, like, I don't even know what to say to like those kind of situations. I mean I've lost loved ones too, but like I guess a partner would probably be more like a partner, or your children would probably be more harder on the heart, because I've only lost like maybe like distant friends, I would say, and like distant uncles, and my grandma will probably be the closest person that I lost, and it did hurt, but honestly, because she set me on the path to Christianity. Honestly, she really did. She When she passed, that's when I really started to change my life around. So it was more of a push than it was like a break in my heart, because I knew that grandma was doing the right thing all the time, and she was always worshiping God. So I wanted to be something like her, and so I didn't let her death really get to me. I did, mourn over her death, but it honestly just pushed me to work harder and be stronger, enjoy life, and to follow God. So I did do that. Um, but that is like something I don't want ever to happen to me, is losing my wife or my children. That would like break my heart a lot, and yeah. So I'm not sure what, that happens. You lose your loved ones, and that's why you just have to put your life and you trust into God and whatever He has planned, because you never know. I have no idea His mysterious ways, what He plans for everyone's life. A lot of times, and that's why we pray. Prayer is so good because you can change so many things. You never know what you can change, and that's a really important thing to notice, because I always pray that my God protects my family and friends, and I put trust into that. So whenever situations happen, I still have to be like, I prayed about it. I trust my prayer, and I talk to God. So I'm gonna trust it and see what happens. And if enemy might attack, things might come the way, but I always have faith that no matter what, we will be okay. So yeah. Anyways, um, yeah, that's pretty much what happened. I don't know what else to talk about. I can think. Let's see. Coming up this week. So yeah, I guess Sundays are when I would introduce like what my goal is for this week. And honestly, my goal will be to really focus. Like, this is the whole week, and I'm already behind. So I'm technically starting today, which is really not good. But my dad just got back, so I had to adjust. It was also his birthday. Oh yeah, his birthday was on Sunday. So I did miss church on Sunday. So uh, that day we brought him back from the hospital, and we celebrated his birthday. We got him like um, Star Wars themed, decorated the house and everything, and we got him the new Star Wars game. Or not a new one. Maybe it's pretty old. Actually, I don't know, but I think it's called like Jedi Survivor. It's a one-player game, so my dad, he can't. He's like constantly in pain, which is so terrible. I can't even imagine. But we thought that it'd be nice for him to have like a game so he could keep his mind away from the pain. But he hasn't played yet. Honestly, that's just because he's just been focused on everything. Um, and yeah, so we had his birthday, and then the following day, I think, or on Tuesday. Oh no, it was the following day. Yeah, let me just catch you guys up. I should have wrote it down, but it's coming onto my mind. On Monday, my church had the pastor had a water day, I guess, and he had water slides, inflatable water slide, and a water volleyball, which I've never seen before. And apparently, I mean, everyone else knows what it is except me, because I guess I'm not in tune with what's popular these days. And the water volleyball was so cool, like the way I just didn't think it existed. I was like, what is that? I was really excited to get into it. But we played. My team lost, sadly. But we should have won. Low key, we should have won. And then they have water balloon fight. It was really good. We had a good time. The food was delicious and everyone was so fun. Um, and that's what I did that day. And then that night it stormed crazy. Like it was just like the electricity went out like twice. At one point, me and my sister thought a tornado was coming. We need to hunker down. No, I'm just kidding. But well, not really. It's because every time our dad has told us that if you hear a train sound like from the winds outside, that means a tornado is nearby and you need to go and hiding. And he told us this since we were kids. Like I remember like I was like 5 maybe, or I don't know. I was like a young child, and whenever he told us that, me and my sister were so vigilant about that. As soon as we heard like some weird noises outside, we were in a closet. We're ready to survive. We're not about to get taken down by no tornado. And yeah, so it's still to this day when we hear weird noises outside. I remember I was sitting here on my computer working, and my sister was in the restroom and the lights flickered. No, they turned off. Like the lights went out, my computer shut down. I was like, oh, it's storming. And I get up because when that happened, I started to hear like the wind outside, and it was crazy. We have a big tree and it's like blowing in front of our house, and it looks like, man, I'm nervous because I don't know if the tree's leaning. Sorry, I can kind of see where it's at from here. But the tree is kind of leaning. I don't know if it's leaning towards our house or not. But when I looked out the window, it looked like the branches were like all up. Like it looked like if the wind was strong enough and it wanted to, it could tear down that tree and just hopefully it wouldn't hit our house. But it is towards our house, so I don't know. And the other thing is that our door has a window on it, window design, I guess, and it has like these bars, like a decorated bar. I don't know how to explain it, but the wind was pushing against those bars, and it was making a sound, like not a whistling sound, but like a horn kind of sound, like a boo. And when my sister was in the restroom, she came out, she was like. She thought it was like a tornado or something. I did. I was like, wait, hold on. Let me go see what that is, because that sounds kind of scary. Like, I don't want to have a tornado right now. And when I got closer to the door, I noticed it was from the door and the wind. So I was like, it's okay. And everyone got up too. It was funny because my parents got up. They're like, what's happening? You know when it's a bad storm, everyone's like, their eyes are like, they're like, what? Do we need to like protect our house? But yeah, so that happened that night. And then the following day, my grandparents were coming to visit my dad, just to see how he's doing. She came to bring soup, some real good chicken soup. And then I think some of my uncles were coming too. I think both of them were. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But the reason why is because I had left. Oh no, sorry. That was the day of the water slide that they came to visit. My bad. That was the day of the water slide. On Tuesday, that's when I started to work on something. Oh yeah, no, Tuesday I went to go pick up the cards from the print shop, finally, and yeah, I don't remember exactly everything else I did. When I went out on Tuesday after the storm, the neighborhood was pretty like there was like branches everywhere, and one of the neighbors one of the trees like snapped in half, and I remember driving by him in the morning, and he was out there like almost all day like chopping up wood, like making that tree into wood, and he was giving it out for free. And my sister called me and she was like, yo, it's free, you should go pick it up, because by the time the dead tree will like dry up, it'll take like months, like maybe like November, like fall season. That's when like the tree would be ready to make a campfire. So I was like, okay, I'll go pick it up. And I went to go pick it up, and he was really nice. He said God bless, and I was like, yes, God bless. And then I put the logs in my car, and he said that he had just finished cutting the tree down, or just finished chopping the logs like 20 minutes ago, and he was really happy that someone came so quickly to pick it up. And I was like, yeah, I got you, I'll take it. My dad likes the campfire, and so does my sister's boyfriend. Like, they both like the campfire, so I was like, I might as well go get it and get it ready for the winter, so we can have a nice fire pit whenever it's cold outside. And it's kind of cool, like, from a storm, someone's able to provide wood. It's interesting how, different circumstances, like, really, it's just interesting how people take it. I would have never thought. I was like, wow, that's so cool that, there's, like, I didn't think of chopping it down for wood. I would have probably been like, oh, I guess it's trash or something. But never mind. I wouldn't say wood is trash, but I would have been like, oh, we need to get this out of the way. And then, I guess, yeah. So I guess he did do what was right, but it was just fun to see him because he was like right there on the edge of the street. So everyone driving by would see him like chopping down this wood. So he's at a good spot because he gets to really get things out there for people driving by. Everyone can see it. Whereas where I live in an area where like no one really has to drive through because you only go in one way and you come out the other. But if you're going in there, the only people who really go in there, people who live there, like the mailman or something, and the trash people who pick up trash. So if someone's driving there and they don't like park in there, it's kind of suspicious. Like, why are you driving here? You don't live here. Like, what are you doing? You looking at our houses? Like, I don't know. That was just something that I was talking about. And yeah. And then Tuesday I went to discipleship class, which they taught about fasting. And that was really a big eye-opener because I've been wanting to learn about fasting for so long. I could have learned it myself by reading the Bible, but for some reason my mind or my heart just wasn't there, or I just wasn't like paying attention. Not paying attention, but I was just, in the world, doing things. Just wasn't. I would think about it and I would forget, but yeah, fasting is really interesting. The main thing that caught my attention, or I learned about fasting, because I don't want to tell you too much about it. I don't know why. Not that I don't want to tell you too much about fasting. It's more like there's a lot to learn about it, and the reason why that I don't want to like teach or talk about it too is because it's God that initiates you to fast. So that to me really, like when I learned that to me really surprised me because I was like, oh, no wonder why I never fasted. And God never, or, God wants us to fast, but for certain things, but he starts the fast for you and he ends it. So that's why you ask God, like, do you want me to go on this fast? And then see what he says. And then if yes, then you start the fast, and then he's the one who ends it. He ends it for you, and you can see God's work or see his hand move something whenever you fast. And this is something I seen my parents fast before, but I've never really fasted before. So whenever I learned that, I was like, oh, like God initiates. That's really interesting. And yeah, because for some reason, I always thought that you decide when to fast. Like, I never thought that it was God who wouldn't make you, but move your heart to want to fast, which is really interesting. I mean, yeah, because I would think like, most of the time when you fast, you're fasting, to gain more supernatural, like to basically get closer with God, just like everything else. It's another way of getting closer with God, but when you fast, it's really asking God to pay attention to your life and to really be with you. And sometimes when you fast, you can ask him for help on situation that's going on. And yeah, and fasting is fasting from food. It could be fasting from anything really, like fasting from music. That's something that was like, I guess technically that would be my first fast, is fasting from music, which is just not listening to it. Secular music, sorry. And yeah, but the natural fast, which is fasting without food, without food, but still drinking water, like that's something I'm like not interested. I guess I am interested in it, but it's it's fasting from food. Sorry, that's what I'm trying to separate. Fasting from food. I think partial fast is like fasting for. You see, I'm already trying to teach it, and I was telling you guys I wasn't gonna teach it. That's crazy. I love teaching. Like the reason why I enjoy teaching is because I enjoy learning. So whenever I start to learn something, I understand it, and when I understand it, I want to like teach other people about it. And some people might not like it, but that's just how I am. I just whenever I'm able to teach it, that's how I know I understand it. So yeah. Anyways, yeah. So that's pretty much all I'm gonna talk about for today. Um, yeah. I don't know. I'm thinking about the fasting thing. I don't know if I mentioned it, but yeah, no, I did. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Well, thank you guys for listening. I'll see you guys next time.